Their sense of self-confidence doesn't come from having to be perfect. It comes from knowing that there is nothing that can happen in the room that would knock them down psychologically. And when you have that feeling, not only do you speak up consistently and build a reputation as someone who is highly capable of leading, but even more importantly, you build a sense of confidence that feels real because it doesn't go away when things get hard. It stays with you always. Welcome to the Art of Speaking Up, a podcast that helps professional women access the limitless potential that lies within them. I'm your host, Jessica Guzik, and my mission is to help you find that spark inside you that has the power to transform your career in ways you may not have thought possible. I'm so excited that you're here. And now, on to the show. Welcome to the podcast. This week's episode is a special episode because enrollment for my signature program, the Art of Speaking Up Academy, is opening on Friday, December 5th. If this is your first time hearing about the Art of Speaking Up Academy, this is my signature program where I help you build confidence, develop a super strong executive presence, and learn to speak in a way that impresses senior leaders. Because enrollment is about to open, this week's episode is a deep dive where I'm going to teach you all about the Art of Speaking Up Academy, how it can help you grow, whether you're the right fit for it, and I'm also going to answer the most frequently asked questions that I get about the Art of Speaking Up Academy. So today's episode is not my traditional episode structure. If you're looking for one of my traditional episodes, I recommend diving into the archives and catching up on an episode that you might have missed. But if you are wanting to learn about my program and whether it's right for you, this episode is the right place for you. And in the episode show notes, I'm going to include all the timestamps for today's episode so that you can skip to any sections you might want to jump to. Okay, I want to start by talking about how to know if you are the right fit for this program. So here are some telltale signs that this is the right program for you. You struggle to speak up in meetings, especially if your boss or senior level leaders are in the room. You struggle to feel confident using your voice, and you get stuck in your head planning what you're going to say. Sometimes you get so stuck in your head that you miss what's happening around you in the actual conversation. When you do speak up, you struggle to articulate yourself clearly, and sometimes you'll even have an experience where someone else will share an idea that you already shared, but they will express it in a punchier way, and they will get a better response from everyone in the room. Sometimes when you speak, you fumble your words and you feel embarrassed, and then you replay it over and over. And one mistake in one meeting has the power to ruin your entire day, or sometimes even an entire week. And finally, you are working hard, but you're not getting the accolades and promotions that you should be getting relative to the number of hours that you are putting into your job. Now, if you are anything like my clients, you are ready for change. You want to stop feeling that imposter syndrome, and you want to feel confident in your capabilities. You want to walk into meetings feeling ready and excited to speak up and share your thoughts with people. You want to be an active voice in the conversation, even when your boss is in the room and even when there are high-up leaders in the room. You want to express your ideas clearly and confidently, and you want to earn respect from senior leaders within your organization so that you can build a reputation that helps you move upwards within your company. Now, if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably because you are someone who is very driven and very motivated and resourceful, and you have probably been working on building your confidence and growing your voice as a leader. And you have probably made some progress, but the confidence that you've been building isn't quite sticking in the way that you want it to. You're still finding yourself struggling in high stakes, high pressure meetings and situations, and you might have moments where you feel discouraged and you wonder, why is this so hard for me? And is there something about me or my personality that is just getting in the way of me building the confidence that I want? Maybe I'm too introverted. Maybe I just wasn't born with that natural belief in myself. If you find yourself questioning whether it's possible for you, the one thing that I want to share with you after being a coach for 5 years and working with nearly 200 professional women is that if you are struggling to build the confidence and develop the voice that you want to have, it is not because something is wrong with you. It is usually because there are a couple of pieces that are missing from your process. And specifically, there are 2 pieces that you might be missing, both of which I teach inside the Art of Speaking Up Academy, and both of which I'm going to teach you about in today's episode. The first piece is that you have to pivot from building what I call performance-based confidence to building resilience-based confidence. So I'm going to explain what these are. And I want to start by saying that most people do not realize that not all forms of confidence are created equal. There's what I call performance-based confidence, which tends to be fragile and unreliable. And there's also something called resilience-based confidence, which tends to be durable and steady. If you are trying to build confidence but you're feeling stuck, it could be because you're building performance-based confidence. So let me tell you what performance-based confidence is and why it keeps people stuck. Performance-based confidence is when you grow your confidence by watching yourself successfully speak up, aka by watching yourself, quote unquote, perform. So maybe you lead a meeting really effectively, and that helps you feel more confident. Or you speak up and the words come out of your mouth really smooth and elegant, and then you feel more confident. These are all examples of you, quote unquote, performing. And as a result of watching yourself perform, your confidence grows. This is why it's called performance-based confidence. Now, here are some signs that you have been building performance-based confidence. Number 1, your goal is to say things perfectly. Number 2, you always want to feel really ready, really prepared. You want to have all the answers. Number 3, you want to feel like you're an expert in the room. And number 4, you really want to demonstrate your competence both to yourself and to other people around you. Now, I really want to highlight that there is nothing wrong with performance-based confidence. It does help you grow. The issue is it's more like beginner level confidence where you will achieve some growth and then you will hit a ceiling. Now, let me tell you why you hit that ceiling. It all comes from the fact that performance-based confidence depends on you feeling like you will be able to perform in the room. So for you to feel confident, you have to feel ready. You have to feel prepared. You have to feel like you have the answers. The issue is, if you are ever in a situation where you haven't prepared, or you aren't an expert, or you don't have all of the answers, your confidence goes away because you have only learned how to be confident when you also have preparedness and a known ability to quote unquote perform. This ends up putting you on an emotional roller coaster because you can never have the same level of preparedness in every single room. Depending on what kind of meeting you're in, what the topic is, who are the other stakeholders in the room, your level of expertise and preparedness is going to go up and down from meeting to meeting. And because your confidence comes from your level of preparedness and expertise, your confidence is also going to go up and down from meeting to meeting. Now, this isn't the result that you want. The result that you want is you want to feel confident always. You want to feel confident whether you're going into an easy room, but you also want to feel confident going into a difficult room where you aren't the main expert in the room and you don't have all the answers. But with performance-based confidence, feeling confident all of the time isn't actually possible. Performance-based confidence cannot get you to that lasting, sustainable, reliable confidence that you want. And by the way, that lasting, sustainable confidence that you want is actually really important for your professional development. Because in order for your company to feel confident promoting you into a leadership position, they need to know that you can hold your own in the room, whether you have the answers or not, whether you're a subject matter expert or not, whether you are fully prepared or not. So this is where performance-based confidence falls short. It offers you no pathway to feeling confident in rooms that are a stretch for you, and therefore it offers you no pathway to demonstrate that you have the leadership capabilities to handle those difficult rooms. So the way that you solve this is you have to pivot from performance-based confidence to something called resilience-based confidence. Resilience-based confidence is what I help you build inside of the Art of Speaking Up Academy. Resilience-based confidence will allow you to feel confident in any room, not just the easy ones. So let me teach you what resilience-based confidence is and why it is better than performance-based confidence. Resilience-based confidence is where your confidence gets built when you watch yourself demonstrate deep emotional and psychological strength. And as a result of watching yourself demonstrate that, you feel more confident. So let me contrast the two types of confidence. With performance-based confidence, your experience is going to look something like this. I was ready. I was prepared. I had the answers. I spoke up well. I feel so confident coming out of that meeting. Now, with resilience-based confidence, it's going to look like I wasn't ready. I wasn't totally prepared. I didn't feel perfect, but I spoke up anyway. I feel like such a badass. This is very different because in this scenario, your confidence didn't come from being perfect, being ready, being prepared, having the answers. Your confidence came because you were psychologically strong enough to speak up, even though you didn't have any of those things. And that gives you an experience of holy shiz, I can handle anything. You can put me in a room where I haven't prepared and I don't know the answers, and that isn't going to stop me. And as you can probably guess, the confidence that comes from that experience is so much deeper and more lasting than performance-based confidence because it came from watching yourself show up effectively, even though things got hard. And even better, resilience-based confidence is reliable. Remember, with performance-based confidence, you're on this up and down roller coaster all day long. But with resilience-based confidence, your confidence is there always. This is because your confidence doesn't come from how prepared or how much of an expert you are. Your confidence comes from how strong and psychologically resilient you are. And that trait comes with you to every single meeting. This means that you can walk into any room feeling confident, even if you're not an expert, not prepared, and you don't have all the answers. And when you possess resilience-based confidence, you are able to show your company that you possess that advanced leadership skill of being able to hold your own in difficult rooms. The truth is, people with resilience-based confidence make excellent leaders because they can handle more. They can handle more ambiguity, more pressure, more uncertainty, more pushback, more intimidation, more challenging stakeholders, because none of those things threaten their sense of self-confidence. Their sense of self-confidence doesn't come from having to be perfect. It comes from knowing that there is nothing that can happen in the room that would knock them down psychologically. This is the type of leader that I will help you become inside of the Art of Speaking Up Academy. I am going to guide you in building resilience-based confidence so that you feel psychologically unstoppable inside. This is going to help you feel confident even in challenging rooms, and this is going to help you show your organization that you are a highly effective leader who is capable of handling more. Now, you might be wondering, how do I do this? And this brings me to the second piece that I focus on in the Art of Speaking Up Academy, which is expanding your emotional and psychological capacity as a leader. All this means is getting better at handling hard things. Now, there are two ways I help you build a strong internal psychological capacity so that you can feel confident and show up big even in difficult situations. The first thing that I teach you how to do is I teach you how to be in rooms where you feel out of your zone of competence without mentally collapsing. So often when you are in a situation where you're not an expert, you don't have perfect knowledge on the subject that people are talking about, you experience what I refer to as an internal psychological collapse. So what this looks like is feeling frozen inside, feeling like you can't focus, getting stuck overthinking and overscripting in your head. When this happens, it prevents you from speaking up in the room and meaningfully engaging in the conversation that's happening around you. Inside the Art of Speaking Up Academy, I guide you through gentle, incremental practice to help you change your internal experience in these difficult rooms. I help you learn not to collapse internally and instead how to stay resilient and strong so that you can speak up even if you're not an expert and even if the room feels challenging. And it feels so incredibly empowering to build that capability because now you've gone from a point where you can only feel confident if you have all the answers and all the knowledge to a situation where you can hold your own in the room, even if you're not an expert. And that is what makes you feel unstoppable. That is what makes you feel like a badass. It's when you know that you have the ability to speak up and hold your own, even when the room feels challenging for you. Now, there's a second piece that I work with you on in order to help you build your emotional and psychological capacity as a leader. I teach you how to be in rooms where you aren't a total expert without self-abandoning. Self-abandoning is when you emotionally abandon yourself. You basically behave as if you are your own enemy. So what this usually looks like is judging yourself, shaming yourself, blaming yourself, criticizing yourself. And a pattern that is really common that many people get stuck in is they're in a room where they're not 100% prepared, where they don't have all the knowledge or answers, and then they start to turn against themselves and they start thinking things like, I always get it wrong. I never understand what people are saying. I'm never properly prepared for this meeting. This is a form of emotional self-abandonment. And when you do this, it creates mental shutdown and makes it impossible for you to speak up in those situations. When I work with you in the Art of Speaking Up Academy, I'm going to help you stop doing this. And I'm going to teach you a skill that all great leaders have, which is the skill of knowing how to be incompetent. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck, Jess? Knowing how to be incompetent? I don't want to be incompetent. But I want to remind you of something that I shared earlier in this episode, which is that the biggest value that you can bring to your company is to show them that they can put you in any room, even rooms where you aren't perfectly competent and you don't have all the answers, and you will speak up and use your voice to get it done. So for you to become that version of you, you have to be able to be in a room and feel incompetent and not have that internal spiral of, oh no, something is wrong with me. Good leaders are excellent at being in rooms where they feel incompetent and still showing up confidently and powerfully. This is what I'm going to help you build inside of the Art of Speaking Up Academy. And this is what is going to help you feel solid walking into any room so that you can speak up even when leaders are present and show your company that you have that more advanced leadership capability of being able to hold your own and lead confidently, even in challenging circumstances. If this is resonating with you, then I want to share more about how the Art of Speaking Up Academy will help you build confidence and help you find your voice as a leader. So I want to start by walking you through the Art of Speaking Up Academy curriculum. It is a 3-part curriculum, and part 1 is where you build resilience-based confidence. In this part of the curriculum, I will help you build emotional resilience, reduce your habit of self-criticism, and you will learn to speak up even when it feels challenging. As my clients go through this first module, the typical experience looks something like this. They have their first win and they come to me and say, okay, it was scary, but I finally spoke up. Then a week or 2 later, they'll say, I did it again. I spoke up again. It's still hard. It's still scary, but I feel like it's starting to get easier. Then in another week or 2, they come back and they say, I feel like the progress is starting to happen because I'm doing it more and more and it's feeling easier and easier. And then a month or 2 after that, they're looking back at their starting point and thinking, why was that so hard for me? It's now actually feeling routine and easy for me to speak up in these rooms. Imagine what will become possible for you in your career if the meetings that feel hard for you start to feel so easy that you're not even fixated on them anymore and not even worried about them anymore. This is a very common experience that my clients have, and this is possible for you when you are willing to show up and do the work to build that resilience-based confidence. Now, the second part of the Art of Speaking Up Academy curriculum focuses on executive presence. Executive presence means that when you speak, you exude an aura of confidence and certainty that makes people trust you and respect you as a professional. The reason this is the second part of the curriculum is because once we've covered confidence in the first part of the curriculum, you're going to be speaking up more. And as you speak up more, I want you to have tools in your toolkit to project confidence and expert energy when you speak. I will teach you how to develop a confident speaking presence. I will teach you how to organically use tone and body language to convey confidence when you are talking. I will even teach you how to exude confidence when the pressure is on or when you get asked a difficult question. And the goal of all of this is to help you project confidence in a way that feels natural. So this isn't about you becoming fake confident. It's about you learning how to access the real confidence that already exists inside you so that you can project that confidence outward when you speak. Now, the final part of the curriculum is where you will learn the foundations of executive communication. Executive communication is the technical skill of being able to express your ideas in a way that is clear, compelling, and persuasive to senior level stakeholders. You will learn and practice my proprietary frameworks for speaking in a way that is assertive, in a way that commands respect without being pushy or forceful. I will teach you how to be clear and crisp when you're speaking, and I will teach you how to communicate in a way that builds your brand as a leader. This will ensure that when you are in meetings where high-level leaders are present, you know how to speak in a way that will get you recognized by them. These 3 modules that we cover, confidence, executive presence, and executive communication, offer you the full package of skills that you need to rise into leadership and make a bigger impact in your role. The Art of Speaking Up Academy is a highly unique program in that we work on the internal psychological transformation as much as we work on the external executive communication tools, which means you get all of the growth that you need. You grow internally so that you feel really strong and unshakable inside, and you grow externally so that you know how to express yourself and speak in a way that is going to land super effectively with senior level stakeholders. When you do this work, here are some of the things that become possible in your professional life. Your imposter syndrome fades away and you are speaking up regularly, even when higher up leaders are in the room with you. You are expressing yourself in a way that is confident and clear and properly conveys your expertise. And because you are speaking up more, you are now standing out as a leader. People are seeing you as more than just a hard worker. They are seeing you as someone who is capable of taking on more. And as a result, you are going to get promoted within your organization more quickly. You are no longer afraid of bigger roles and bigger projects, so you're no longer holding yourself back from these bigger opportunities. You are allowing yourself to go for them because you believe that you have the capability to handle them. And finally, you feel proud of the version of you that you are showing up as. You finish your work week on a Friday feeling like you gave everything that you had and showed up as a powerful role model, not just for your team and for the people around you at work, but for other people in your life, like your family and your children. These are the outcomes that my clients typically experience, and these outcomes are possible for you as well. I want to share what my client Julia put in her feedback form after she finished working with me in this program. She said, "Working with Jessica has been truly transformational. I came into the program doubting myself, overanalyzing everything I said, assuming everyone around me was smarter, and shrinking back in moments when I wanted to lead. I now trust myself more, speak up without overthinking, compare myself less, and communicate with greater clarity and calm. Jessica's blend of mindset work and communication strategies redefined confidence for me, not as perfection, but as owning my voice and power. She creates a space that is both safe and challenging, and I cannot recommend her enough to anyone ready to stop playing small." If you are ready to stop playing small and you are ready to develop the confidence and build the voice that is going to turbocharge the future of your career, mark your calendar. Applications are opening Friday, December 5th. To apply, click the link in the show notes or go to jessguzikcoaching.com/academy. If applications haven't opened yet when you're listening to this, add yourself to the waitlist so that you don't miss the enrollment period. And with all that said, I want to spend some time talking about the logistics of the Art of Speaking Up Academy, because you might have questions like, what exactly is included when I sign up for this program? And how do I know if this setting is the right fit for me? I want to answer all of those questions. So first, I'm going to cover everything that you get when you enroll in the Art of Speaking Up Academy. And then I'm going to cover my most frequently asked questions about the Art of Speaking Up Academy. So let's start with what you get when you enroll. First, there are the live sessions. These are the heartbeat of the program. Every week, we come together in my Zoom room in a small, intimate group of professional women, and I lead you through our session. One of the best things about the live sessions is that they are small group sessions. I cap the cohort at 10 women maximum, which allows you to have a more intimate and interactive experience. So you're not just going to be learning what I teach, you're going to be interacting. I'm going to be guiding you through exercises. You're going to practice applying the tools. You're going to be able to get personalized feedback from me every single week. This is going to help take you from just passive content consumption and passive learning to a true internal transformation that will help you create lasting confidence and real results in your professional life. The Art of Speaking Up Academy is a 6-month program, and the reason that it's a bit of a longer program is because you get to go beyond learning just those surface level tools and frameworks, and you get to do the real psychological change work that is going to help you grow your confidence and feel stronger internally. That level of work requires time. It's not a hack that you figure out overnight, but the flip side is when you slow down to do that work, that's when you finally start to build the confidence that actually sticks. Now, the good news is every single live session is recorded. So if there's ever a week where you're not able to attend the session, you will have the recording of our session to get to watch on your own time. So that is a little bit about the live sessions, but you get a lot more than just the live sessions. And I want to walk you through all of the other pieces that are included inside of this experience. So the next thing that you get when you join the Art of Speaking Up Academy is access to our online community. Our online community is hosted inside of Slack, and this is a place where you are going to have support, encouragement, and accountability outside of our weekly sessions. Having this Slack community with the other women in your cohort gives you this safe space to bring questions and struggles that are coming up for you. So many of the difficult situations that you face at work are things that you cannot discuss with other people in your workplace. This can lead you to feel stressed out and alienated and alone. And when you have this online community, all of that goes away because you have a private space where everyone is there to support you and guide you. And most of all, everyone is there to keep reminding you as many times as you need to be reminded that you can do this and to keep going. Another thing that you will get when you enroll in the program is help from me in between our live sessions. I want to make sure that whatever question or challenge comes up for you, you are able to get the help you need. This is why inside of our Slack community, there is a dedicated channel where you can ask me for help, guidance, or coaching. So I want you to imagine you're going about your work week and you see someone put a meeting on your calendar and you panic and you think to yourself, I don't know what I'm supposed to say in this meeting. How am I going to handle this? In a situation like that, you might pull out your phone and see if I have a podcast episode to help you with this dilemma. But imagine if instead of pulling out your phone and looking for a podcast episode, you could pull out your phone and message me and tell me about the meeting and get exact steps and guidance from me on how you should handle that situation. Once you're inside the Art of Speaking Up Academy, that will be your new reality. You will be able to reach out to me inside of Slack anytime you want, and I will help you with whatever obstacle has come up for you. This is going to make you feel so much more confident moving through your work week. The next thing you get when you enroll is access to the official Art of Speaking Up Academy curriculum materials. So you're going to get the official Art of Speaking Up Academy workbook, which contains the entire curriculum distilled into a clear, structured, step-by-step process. And you're also going to get access to the Art of Speaking Up Academy private podcast. The podcast is wonderful not only because listening to it will inspire you the same way listening to my regular podcast inspires you, but even better, if you get busy one week inside the program and you don't have time to look at the workbook, you have the private podcast, which will deliver that week's lesson to you in an audio format so that you can listen on the go. This is going to take off that pressure that you might feel to keep up with the program, because even if your week gets crazy and life gets busy, as long as you have about 10 minutes that can be filled with listening to a podcast, you will arrive at our session feeling excited and ready. Another thing that you get when you enroll are the cheat sheets. I want you to have a quick reference guide of what you have learned inside the program so that if you're ever in a situation where you literally have 5 minutes before a meeting to gather your thoughts, you can quickly glance at the cheat sheets. You can run through them the same way you would run through a checklist. And those cheat sheets will give you the confidence that you are covering your bases and you are doing everything that you need to do to show up well and make a strong impression in the room. When you enroll, you are also going to get access to some advanced trainings. These are extra trainings that are additive to the core curriculum to help you take your learning even deeper. You will get an advanced training on persuasion and influence. This is super helpful for those of you who want to get really excellent at getting buy-in and driving impact, even in challenging situations. And you will also get a second advanced training called How to Write Executive-Friendly Talking Points. This is a step-by-step mini audio course that will take you from blank page to having all of your talking points written for your presentation. It eliminates the stress of, what do I say to start this presentation? How do I talk about this part? What do I say to end the presentation and close things off on a high note? This audio training will guide you from start to finish so that you won't have to experience that overwhelm or that decision paralysis that can happen when you're trying to craft your talking points. It's going to save you so much time. Now, there is one more thing you get. This is a bonus for those of you who have joined the waitlist. So make sure to join the waitlist. You will find the waitlist in the show notes. This bonus is a private 30-minute one-on-one session with me. You can use this session immediately after you enroll. It never expires, which means you can keep it for when you need expert career guidance in the future. And this is your opportunity to get my expert brain on whatever obstacle is keeping you up at night. I will work with you to create a plan that will help you feel calm and confident about your ability to navigate that tricky situation. Now, if you're listening to this podcast and the waitlist has already closed, just indicate somewhere in your Art of Speaking Up Academy application that you are interested in the bonus one-on-one session, and I am happy to offer that to you as part of your enrollment. So to summarize, here is what you get when you enroll in the Art of Speaking Up Academy. You get the weekly live sessions hosted by me, weekly recordings of the sessions, our online community in Slack, personalized help from me inside our online community in Slack, the official Art of Speaking Up Academy workbook, the official Art of Speaking Up Academy private podcast, the cheat sheets, the advanced training on persuasion and influence, and a second advanced training on how to write executive-friendly talking points, and a bonus 30-minute one-on-one private session with me. The current tuition for the Art of Speaking Up Academy is either 10 monthly payments of $369 or one upfront payment of $3,500. If you plan to ask your employer to sponsor your tuition for the Art of Speaking Up Academy, you can send me an email at jessica@theartofspeakingup.com, and I will share with you an employer-facing document that you can present to your employer to get approval for the funding. Okay, we're going to go into frequently asked questions. And if there's any question that I haven't answered, please send me a note. I will put my email in the show notes. It's jessica@theartofspeakingup.com. I am always more than happy to answer your questions. And if you have something that you want to talk with me about live on a Zoom call, I'm also happy to set up time. So please don't be shy. I want you to have the information that you need to figure out if this is the right program for you. And I want you to feel really good about your decision to join. And with that, let's get into the FAQs. Question 1, what if I have to miss a session? Not a problem. You will have access to the recording so you can catch up on any sessions that you miss. Question 2, is this program appropriate for my specific level or my specific industry? Yes. I work with a wide variety of female professionals in this program. There are first-time managers and there are senior executives in this program. And there are people in very traditional corporate environments. And there are also people who work in nonprofits or the government or real estate or medicine. I don't filter based on these things. I only filter based on the goal that you have coming into the program. every single person in the room has the same goal, which is to build unshakable inner confidence and a strong, effective voice as a leader. If those are your priorities, then this group will be a fit for you, regardless of your specific level or industry. The next question is, how much feedback will I get inside the program? A lot of feedback. So because it's a small group, anytime I teach you something new, you always have the opportunity to practice it, get my feedback on how you're applying it, and also ask me questions so that you feel really clear on how what I'm teaching applies to you. And you can also get feedback from me outside of the sessions. So we have our online Slack community where you can get help from me anytime you want. So between the live sessions and the Slack community in between our sessions, you have multiple opportunities for feedback across the program. The next question is, should I join this program or should I try to do it on my own? Okay, something that is important to know is that not all skills are meant to be learned on your own. So there are certainly some skills that you can learn on your own. So if you want to get really good at learning about world history, you can listen to a podcast and read books on your own and get really good at that. But if you want to become a surgeon, you probably can't get good at that just by listening to a podcast or reading a book. This is because when a skill has a higher level of complexity, we typically need facilitation, feedback, expert guidance, and accountability in order to develop that skill. And the skills of confidence and executive communication are skills that are complex. These aren't skills that we can easily internalize on our own. These are skills that require deeper guidance and a step-by-step process in order for them to properly take root within you in a way that is lasting and permanent. A lot of times when we try to do something complicated on our own without the help that we need, we end up wasting time and eventually concluding that we actually do need help. So one of the best gifts that you can give yourself is the gift of getting the help now so that you're not continuing to struggle with the same frustrations 6 to 12 months from now. The next question is, will I be forced to speak in the sessions? Hell to the no. That is not my coaching style. And I remember when I was in my corporate career struggling with confidence, the idea of being in a group session where I would be forced to speak would fill me with enormous amounts of anxiety. I designed this program for you to feel comfortable inside of it. What that means is I'm never going to call on you. I'm never going to force you to speak, but I am going to create the conditions necessary for you to feel so comfortable that you want to speak. So there is a very good chance that once you're actually in the space, you're going to realize that this is a space where you can be yourself and express yourself, and you don't have to be perfect, and you can be open and real with me and the other women. This is going to help you speak up and participate more freely. That is going to help you grow your confidence, and that confidence is going to follow you into the workplace and help you speak up more freely at work as well. The next question is, what is the time commitment each week? So each week we have a live session that is 75 minutes long, and we have one break week built in per month to provide a little bit of space and breathing room in the schedule. There is a short homework assignment each week. It's typically 3 to 6 pages of reading inside of the workbook, but because you will get the Academy private podcast, if you ever have a week where you're slammed and you do not have time to read the workbook, you can listen to the private podcast for that week and you will feel prepared coming into the session. Most of the women who come into this program are not just full-time working women, but they're full-time working women who are also moms. I designed the program so that if you get busy and you can't be 100% perfect in your attendance or in your completion of the homework, you will still experience growth as long as you are able to show up to the majority of our sessions and be present and open-hearted with the group. That's really all it takes. The final question is, I'm scared to make the investment. How do I know if this is right for me? It's very normal to feel scared to make a decision like this. I totally get it. Whenever I'm about to sign up for a coaching program, there's always that fear in the back of my mind of like, what am I getting? What is this going to be? Is this going to be worth it? I'll tell you my process of how I walk myself through those fears. I like to ask myself 3 questions. Number 1, is this a priority for me? If yes, then I move on to the next question. And I ask myself, do I want this particular program? Like, do I genuinely feel pulled to it? Do I feel desire for it? If the answer to that question is yes, then I ask myself one final question, and I try to answer this very honestly. I ask myself, am I willing to show up and do the work to get my money's worth? If my answer to all of the questions is yes, then I know it is the right decision for me. If you feel nervous about pulling the trigger on this, please reach out to me. I am happy to let you know if I think this environment is the right fit for you. It is really important to me that every single one of my clients has a rich and positive experience inside of the program, which is why I want to help answer any questions or concerns that you have so that you can feel really good about joining us if you decide to take the leap. Okay, so that brings me to the very end of this episode. Thank you for sticking with me all the way until the end. As a reminder, applications open Friday, December 5th. I will share the link in the show notes. Add yourself to the waitlist so that you get the bonus one-on-one session with me included in your enrollment. Remember, my email address is also in the show notes, so please don't be afraid to reach out to me. It will go directly to my personal inbox, and I will answer you fairly quickly. Thank you so much for being here. If you're listening to this around the holidays, have an amazingly restful holiday. Eat all of the delicious things if you are in the US celebrating an American-style Thanksgiving. And hopefully I will catch you inside of the Art of Speaking Up Academy. Have an amazing day. Bye.